Ahoy, yar! Greetings, I am Tad Larkin, the lore master of Manda-LORE, and today I'll be digging through the archives to elaborate on the black hole anomaly that is the Maw Cluster. The Maw Cluster, or simply the Maw, is a tight grouping of several hundred black holes located in the outer rim of the galaxy near the Kessel system, and it is surrounded by the Maw Nebula. The only reason why the Maw is visible is because of the sheer amount of ionized gases and dust being pulled in by the individual black holes themselves. It should be noted that the Maw's gravitational effect is so vast that it's ever so slowly pulling in the entire Kessel star system into its gaping jaws. Extremely hazardous to navigate through, the Maw proves to be either a major obstacle for travelers or a shortcut if you're an experienced pilot, as smugglers and spice runners often use the Maw as a shortcut past the Kessel Run. The Maw itself was created a millennium before the Battle of Yavin 4 by the Killiks, a sentient insectoid species that originated from Alderaan. Using Centerpoint Station, the Killiks moved hundreds of black holes into the positions they occupy today, and its original purpose was to ensure that Abeloth, a powerful dark side entity, remained imprisoned on her planet and could never escape. Over 25,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, during the war between Zim the Despot and the Hutt Empire, many of Zim's warships were destroyed by black holes in the Maw during a tactical retreat to Kessel. Due to its little strategic importance, the Maw was left relatively alone for centuries, and it wasn't until the establishment of the New Order in 19 BBY that some military interest in the anomaly was finally taken again. The Galactic Empire established an installation within the Maw and deemed it perfect for constructing and researching powerful superweapons, all while being hidden from the rest of the galaxy. The Maw installation was the brainchild of Grand Moff Wilhuff Tarkin, and through the installation's research and development, the Death Star prototype as well as much of the first Death Star was constructed at the Maw before it was moved to Despire. Apart from the first Death Star, the Sun Crusher, World Devastators, Ion Ring, Galaxy Gun, and the Tarkin superweapons were all researched and developed at the Maw installation. Shortly before Grand Moff Tarkin's death aboard the first Death Star, he promoted Atasi Dala to the rank of Admiral and set her in command of 4 Imperial One-class Star Destroyers, tasked with guarding the Maw installation. Tarkin ordered her to maintain communication silence until his return. Unbeknownst to Dala, however, Tarkin went down with the first Death Star during the Battle of Yavin. Dala remained at the Maw installation with no contact with the rest of the outside galaxy. That was until 11 ABY, when Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Kip Duran escaped from the nearby prison on Kessel and fled through the Maw. Kip Duran hijacked the Sun Crusher and flew it through the bridge of one of Dala's Star Destroyers, prompting her to leave the Maw and wage her own personal war against the New Republic and the New Jedi Order. Dala made several offensives against the New Republic, but each time was beaten back, and she always returned to the one place she had called home for over a decade, the Maw. During one such disastrous battle in 17 ABY, Dala was thought to be dead, when she in fact had returned to the Maw and established a colony there. As the Maw colony began to grow and thrive, Dala settled down and had a family, meanwhile rebuilding her fleet, acquiring more and more warships to protect the colony's assets. When, in 25 ABY, the extragalactic invaders known as the Yuuzhan Vong waged war on the galaxy, the ships of the Maw colony fleet conducted raids against the Yuuzhan Vong, calling themselves the Maw Irregular, and often aided refugees of worlds ravaged by the Vong. A year later, Lando Calrissian set up a sanctuary for Jedi Knights in hiding from the Yuuzhan Vong, codenamed Shelter, and it was constructed from the remains of the old Maw installation. 43 years after the Battle of Yavin, Luke and Ben Skywalker launched an expedition to the Maw, hopefully to maybe find reasons why the late Jason Solo fell to the dark side of the Force. The father-son duo soon came upon Sinkhole Station, a space station almost completely identical to Corellia's Centerpoint Station, its sister station in fact, and upon further investigation, they met up with a group of advanced Force users known as the Mindwalkers. Abeloth, who had been imprisoned on her planet within the Maw thousands of years before, began influencing Force users to come to her, baiting them, and even killed and took the form of Jedi Knight Callista Ming. She also used her powers to influence the minds of those Jedi Knights still at Shelter, as well as the Sith, and her list of enemies began to grow as both the new Jedi Order and the Sith became hell-bent on eliminating her. This ends my findings on the Maw Cluster. If you have any suggestions for future transmissions, don't be afraid to drop a comment. In the meantime, keep your comm channels open for future transmissions, and don't forget to subscribe! Tad Larkin, out.